Hey guys, I finally found a little bit of time today to record the process of what I have been doing as far as my routine and giving you more details about it. I know that since my last video I had a few questions about exactly what I've been doing in terms of my routine. It's been super busy because I started my new job and now I'm working in person every day, so I really just haven't had the time to record. So if you saw my last video, you saw that I had some unexpected, amazing results with all of my tumors shrinking. Some of the tumors shrank more than 60 to 80%, and I didn't get anything new. I reached out to the clinical trial doctor to see what opinions they had regarding me starting the treatments because I was scheduled to get my port done. I actually had already gotten all of the testing that they wanted, including the echocardiogram and the CT scans and all that in the labs. But I was really hesitant to get the port because I didn't know if they wanted me to go ahead with it. So finally, I got a response back to the doctor yesterday. I talked to him and explained to him what was going on. I sent him all of my scan results, and he basically said that at this point in time, since the treatment that I'm on is currently working, he doesn't think that I should go ahead with the clinical trial and that I should just continue the immunotherapy that I'm on, and then to repeat the scans in 3 months and follow up with him and see what to do then. This is what I expected for him to say because it doesn't make sense to start a clinical trial and do treatments when things are already working. If it's not broken, then don't fix it. So I actually went back to look at my phone to see exactly what I've been doing and when I started the meals and working out and all of that. And I went ahead and wrote it all down so that I could tell you exactly what I did with the timeline and all. And just to give you the timeline between the scans, it was about 5 weeks approximately from September 12th to October 21st that I got the major shrinkage in all of my tumors. So it was only 5 weeks. In terms of what I did, on August 26th, it looks like that's when I signed up for the sauna and cold plunge place with a sauna that included red light therapy and infrared. In the first month, starting August 26th, I signed up for the unlimited monthly. And when I looked at all of my reservations, it looked like I went about 3 times for the first 2 weeks. And then after that, I went twice a week and then once a week thereafter. So I've gone a total of about 12 times before my scans. And that was about an hour each time that I went. I would do about 25 minutes in the sauna and then 5 minutes in the cold plunge and then back to the sauna for another 15 to 20 minutes or so. In terms of personal training and working out, I had a break where I didn't work out at all. This is when I was moving, and I basically went from going to the gym like a couple times a week to nothing from the months of July and August, and actually up to September, because September 12th was when I started the personal training, and that was when I started working out about 4 days a week as well. I remember starting that week strictly, and then after that, about I think 3 or 4 weeks later, I upped it to 5 days a week working out, and I've been doing that every week since then. The personal training sessions are just once a week for an hour. The other workouts are between 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and I don't do any cardio. I just mostly do strength training at the gym in my apartment. So they're super easy workouts, but I've been able to gain quite a bit of muscle and weight from that. And then on September 20th, that was when I first ordered my meals from Thistle, which I told you guys about last time. They have options for vegan meals or non-vegan meals, but I went ahead and chose the vegan meals just because I'm allergic to eggs, and I decided that I was going to cut out meat and have mostly just fish, maybe up to twice a week, if that, to add some extra protein. So I started eating their meals 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days a week, which is what I ordered, 15 meals a week. And then on the weekends, I would mostly order food from organic restaurants nearby and also stick with a more vegetarian, vegan type of meal plan. Aside from that, I really have not eaten anything else. Having the meal plan just extremely took the stress off of me, and I think just the stress alone in thinking about what I'm going to eat and preparing the food and going grocery shopping, all of that, it just gave me such a big relief because now I only have to worry about food for my kids. We don't eat the same thing, so it's super hard to cook for them and then cook for myself. By the time I'm done cooking for them, I don't even want to eat. So this helped out so much with me sticking with the meals and not cheating at all. Before, I used to cheat a lot because I would either just skip meals because I didn't want to cook and I was just too tired to cook, and then I would get really hungry because I skipped the meals, and then I would eat something bad or actually just more fruits. I would just reach for fruits because it was the easiest thing to eat that seemed pretty healthy. However, I do feel that me cutting down on fruits has helped a lot. I actually don't even really eat fruits anymore aside from berries like blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries that I mix in with my Greek yogurt or coconut yogurt as an extra. I am not counting my carbs at all. I am eating mostly really high fiber and high protein meals, and the carbs kind of just come with it. But these are kind of like the meals. I'll show you guys different types of meals here that you can see that Thistle has. And they have a whole menu online that you can see, but the carbohydrates are all complex carbohydrates, like whole food carbohydrates. So it's not like bread or pasta or anything. They do have pasta, but it's mostly like chickpea pasta, or they have black rice or wild rice, which I think is fine. And I've been eating a lot of chia pudding, and every morning I have coffee with almond milk. I actually just make an organic espresso type of coffee with almond milk. So I have stuck with this diet strictly since September, and I'm still eating the meals from them, and I'm loving it because honestly, I don't really care too much about food. I really just want to eat the foods that are nourishing for my body, that makes me feel good. And so far it seems like whatever I'm eating is really good for my body because my pain is still gone. And since the last scan results in the last video I posted 2 weeks ago, I feel like I'm doing even better. I used to have some pain and numbness and tingling whenever I would bend my neck a certain way because of the thoracic spine tumor. But now that has gone away as well, and I have put on more weight, so I'm probably about 105 to 107 pounds now, and I've maintained the weight. So I feel really, really good on this diet, and I am gonna just stick with it until the cancer goes away completely, which is what I'm hoping for and what God has promised me. I feel like it's all gonna happen within the next 4 to 6 months or so. The interesting thing is that I have stopped all of my supplements since July. I ran out of the supplements and I decided to just not order more because I was kind of running around and moving, and I'm just really bad at taking supplements. I don't think I've ever really been consistent with them. And of course, I've also stopped all of the repurposed medications that I was on, like mebendazole and ivermectin and aspirin, propranolol, those meds that I talked about in another video, if you guys want to see that one. It was just really hard for me to resume that, and since I was already feeling well, I just didn't feel called to it. I didn't feel the need for it, and I felt like my body needed to detox, and it was just too much on my liver and my whole system. So I feel like stopping the supplements and the repurposed medications gave my body a little bit of a break. The only thing that I have been doing is the mistletoe injections, which I started again in July, and I upped the dose for that because I was not getting as much of a reaction with the older dose. So that started in July, and I've been doing that maybe once or twice a week. It's supposed to be 3 times a week, but I'm definitely not consistent with it. But I do it at least once or twice a week. And I do think that the mistletoe helps a lot with getting an immunotherapy reaction. And so I do think that that plays a big role. Whenever I do it consistently, it seems like I get a pretty good response. And then the last thing that I do are coffee enemas. I know it took me like 5 or 6 years to actually do it after learning about it and reading about it. But I have been doing that once a week, and if you don't really know what they are, I might make a separate video for that. But I started doing the coffee enemas, or I learned how to do it when I went to the cancer center for 11 days in Heartland last November, like about a year ago. So that was when I first learned how to do it, and it definitely was not scary to do it all. It actually gave me a lot of pain relief at the time, and it felt really good to detox my body. It gave me a lot of energy. And so now I just do it once a week just to get rid of all the toxins that I can. And I typically do it on the days that I do the sauna and cold plunge, and I will get some juice at that time as well. Oh, and that was the other thing, is that I was getting juices, like green juices. I didn't make them on my own because I don't have my juicer with me, but I did buy them, and I would drink it about twice a week or so. And I was doing about 32 ounces of green juice a day whenever I did drink it. In terms of the conventional treatment, I've actually been on the same immunotherapy drug now for almost 3 years. It's called nivolumab, or Opdivo is the other name for it. And I took it with Yervoy, which is another immunotherapy drug, and that was given, I think, about last May or June. I had 6 infusions of the Yervoy with the Opdivo together, and I ended up really not getting a response at all for 6 months or so, until I went to the cancer center and did all of the protocols I did there. And when I came back from the cancer center, that was when my scans showed shrinkage, but it was weird because at the time everything else shrank besides the lesion in my skull, which grew rapidly, and that led to the craniotomy. So I had some mixed results, but I did get this test done called the circulating tumor DNA, or the ctDNA, through Natera. That was ordered by my naturopathic oncologist, and at the time in March, you can see here that the markers were way down, and then from then you can kind of see an uptick when everything started growing a lot faster in the summertime. And then now you see the downtrend, and my last test was pretty much as low as the one that was in March. And so this test seems to be pretty accurate for me, and I'm going to just keep doing that just to monitor myself. I did go back to the Yervoy in July and got 4 treatments of it so far. So I finished that about a month ago, and the last 2 infusions I got were Opdivo alone. Again, this didn't really work for me in the past, except for when I really changed my diet. And for me, it seems that when I eat more of a vegetarian diet, I respond better. So I know that there are a lot of people doing keto, carnivore out there for cancers and for other illnesses, but now that this has happened several times for me, I've really just gotten confirmation that the diet that I really need to stick with is more of a whole foods, plant-based diet. So I think at the end of the day, you really just have to experiment and see what works for you. I have tried keto, carnivore multiple times, and it's never really worked for me. I don't feel good on it. So I think just eating a lot of meat is not really good for me. The other interesting thing is that none of this felt hard. I mean, I really don't know how to explain it to you guys, but I feel like everything that I've been doing in the past few months has been so effortless and easy, and I'm not even thinking about it. It's just I wake up every day and I just do what I need to do, and I don't even have any thoughts about it, about how it sucks or about having to try and just thinking about the food that I'm eating and complaining about the food that I have to eat. And it's just routine. Whereas before it felt like such a constant struggle. Like I would always be in my head and thinking about the next thing that I had to do and just feeling like everything was such a chore. I felt like I was striving and just trying to come up with this energy to do these things that I had to do, yet I just couldn't do them, and my body would just not follow the instructions that was in my mind, and I cheated all of the time. I didn't realize how much I cheated until I really thought back about it and thought about how many times I would go and just buy fast food because I was so hungry, or eat bad food at home. It was either that or I would just skip meals and not eat regularly, and it just was all over the place. So now it just seems like everything is so effortless and it's so easy. In the last video, I talked about how I had that major mind shift where I just really gave it all to God and surrendered and put all of my trust and faith in Him, and not just saying that, but actually doing it and actually obeying His word and following His will for me. And it has completely changed my life because I no longer worry about anything that I'm worried about. I just read the word and I pray, and He instantly gives me peace. And if He doesn't instantly give me peace, then I'll have peace the next day, but it comes, and He is just so faithful. When I decided that I was going to go all in on God and just put all of my investment in Him and just do that first above all else, I think that was the best investment that I have ever made, and I will never go back to the way that things were. Once I have discovered how good and faithful and true God is to fulfill His promises, and how much peace and love I feel in my heart, how much He has changed me and renewed me and purified me, I just am so grateful, and I'm just never going to go back to the way that I was. I don't think I can. This journey has been miraculous and it's been wonderful. I just can't wait to see what's going to happen, and I'm just looking forward to every day. I haven't even thought about my cancer at all. I just am so confident that He's going to heal me and it's going to happen, and I just have to keep on doing whatever He is telling me to do, and as long as I follow Him and obey Him, He's going to fulfill His promises. So I'm going to wrap this video up because it's getting long, but thank you so much for spending time to watch my videos, for commenting, for all of your prayers. I've received so much prayers, and I'm just so appreciative of all of you. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I love you all. Okay, bye.